About you lovely people. Today is time to set our next short-term targets for Bitcoin. Let's have a look at what's going on. So we're up just over 2% at 45,700, and we are holding this trend line that we put in and that we talked about on yesterday's video, which is really good to see. We'll come down a little bit, 1 hour. Yeah, there was a real battle for it earlier. So you can see how the market is watching this trend line, and the bulls won this battle for now. Let's see if we come in and test it again. But for now, we are resuming upwards. If we made a higher high on the daily, which is not far away, so if we went up another percent or so, then things would look even more bullish. So what does that mean for next steps? Well, I have two scenarios in here. Number one is if we break down, and that's looking the least likely at the moment. But we know already, we've talked about it, if we break to the downside, we're looking at testing the most important trend line in crypto. So that would probably come in somewhere between $38,000 and $42,000, something like that. But the favorite at the moment is certainly to make a next leg up. That's what the market is trying to show us. And we're going to need to wait and see what happens the rest of today, tomorrow. But it is looking the favorite, probably 70-30 at the moment. So if we do go up, then what are we looking at next? Well, I have this box in here already. And why have I put this box here? Well, firstly, if we make the next leg up, then we're going to make a new high. And as we talked about yesterday, we would expect to leave the trend line at some point and become overbought, and then we'd expect the market to cool off. So if that happens, we're looking quite a bit higher than we are right now. This green box, if I drag it over here, you can see with the rounded top that we had in March, April, and May, there is a lot of resistance around here. So depending on where you draw the lines, there is a lot of work that needs to be done to get through that area, which indicates to me it will be somewhere in that area where we get rejected. It's also quite common to get rejected at or around the all-time high. If you were following when we were taking out the previous all-time high at $19,000, it took us a while to get through there. So that area would make a lot of sense to me. And I've also been looking over here at the last two cycles. So in 2017, if you see, we had our first wave up off the bottom and a correction, second wave up, correction, and a third and final wave up before a steep correction. So we've had two already, and that would indicate that we have a third wave to go. And in 2017, that was about 38%. So keep that in mind. And in 2013, we did something similar. Let's find it. Here we go. 2013, one wave, two waves, three waves. And in the third wave, it was about, call it 45%, which was up to the previous, one of the previous highs. So that would look quite similar to us heading up to near the all-time high this time. So it was 38 and 45% for the last wave of the previous two cycles. And that would put us this time somewhere between 60 and the all-time high. So it may be that we need to extend this box through to the all-time high, which was about 64,500. I would say that is our rough target area for the next wave up if we do make that move. And I recommend following William Clemente on Twitter. He does a great job with the on-chain analytics. He's created this liquid supply shock ratio, which is essentially calculating how much Bitcoin there is available to buy and sell, how much is likely to be on the market. And when the ratio is climbing, that indicates Bitcoin has been taken off the market. And usually that implies that the price is going to rise. Sometimes it lags a little bit, like it did at essentially at the beginning of the capitulation. people started hoovering up coins and taking them off exchanges. Eventually the price caught up, and that is the reason why we're going up. And I thought it was really interesting that the last time this ratio was where it is right now was when the price was $55,000 and $57,000. So that puts us within our range again of what we would expect next. So if we do make the next leg up, feeling pretty confident that this area is going to be the area that we're aiming for, most likely it will be the area we get rejected from, and either we come back to the trend line or maybe we come back lower, and then that is our real launch pad towards $100,000 from that point. So they're the next moves that we're looking at. We're following it closely. Of course, do not forget that we can break down. So that would be absolutely normal, and at which point we'd be expecting to bounce and head up to this sort of area. So giving it 70% possibility at the moment that we're going up as our immediate next step. If you agree with me, please hit the like button, support the channel, it means a lot, and I'll talk to you soon.